The question is, have you ever achieved something so big that you have been waiting on achieving and you put your all into it, and then once you got there, you still felt unfulfilled? Oh my God, that is the worst. It's the worst feeling in the world to set out on a goal to accomplish something amazing. And you do that. You get the promotion, you get the job, you get the man, you get all the things. And then you get it and you still feel unfulfilled. I know that I've been there in my life. And if that's you, then girlfriend, this video right here is for you. We're talking all about why success without purpose feels so empty. My name is Dr. Kiki Ramsey. I'm your favorite positive psychologist and career coach. And I understand this question so much because I coach women all day, every day who feel unfulfilled, burnout, unhappy at their workplaces. And I am on a mission to help us learn how to create our own happiness at work and in life. And that starts right now. So if you've ever felt like you've achieved something that you worked so hard for and still unfulfilled, then you are not alone. I want to, number one, acknowledge that it's disappointing. I mean, it is so disappointing to get to a place where you have done all that you're supposed to do, but yet it just feels like blah. You're like, wait, is this all there is to this feeling? And I tell you, I get it. I've gotten there. But the truth is, we've all of us, including me, have been sold a myth about what success really is. Most of us think success is like our titles. Whether you're a boss or a supervisor or a director, we think that success is all about the money that we make, right? Whether you make six figures or more than six figures, but we think it's about the money. We think it's about the stock options that we may have in a job, right? We think that is success. We also think it's about the accolades, right? How well people are patting us on the back, people telling us how good we've done or how good we're doing. And we think it's checking all the boxes, right? We have to check all the boxes. And we're not wrong. This is what society has told us that success truly is. And that's the definition that we normally go by when we're talking about success. But I know now that success is not only those things. We also think about success in the way that society defines success versus how it actually feels, right? They can say success is one thing, but how we ultimately feel about our success is the real teller of whether we are actually successful or not. And we also think about external validation, right? Sometimes that external validation wears off too fast. Many of us are people pleasers. We want to please all the people. And in the process, we're not pleasing ourselves. We're actually super unfulfilled. And what that does is nobody actually tells you about the empty space that comes with all that. Nobody prepares you for when you've done all the things, you've checked all the boxes, and the space is still empty. Because here's the truth. Success without meaning really ultimately leads to burnout. It leads to comparison, and it also leads to restlessness, right? I know for a fact that when I was just chasing success, and trust me, I was chasing success at one point. It also led to like values alignment, but I was also really tired. I was tired of just the grind of what it took to chase success. I was always comparing myself to other people in my industry, and I was just restless about the whole thing. The thought process that I would always have is this it? You mean to tell me that I done all that? And this how I feel? I mean, like it's the truth. And this happens a lot for high achievers. So I'm talking to you if you're a high achieving woman. I know you've felt this before because we do all these things and we can't help it. We don't achieve one thing a high achiever are going to do is achieve, honey. And so we out here and we're doing our damnedest to make it happen. And then we get there and we're like, wait, is this it? And don't nobody prepare you for that. So you be sitting there thinking you're insane because you feel this way after you've done so much. And then everybody will say, girl, you just need to be okay. You should be happy. You done all this. You've achieved so much. You should be grateful. You should be happy. And you're just like, it's not that I'm not grateful, but at the end of the day, it's like, wow, dang, is this it? Right? And I get it, right? I get it. And then we also ask ourselves why these achieving moments just don't equal happiness. And that's that space that we end up falling into. And when I was on this path of trying to figure out my purpose, I was in this space and I really had to document what the journey was because I knew that other women were going through the same thing. I wasn't alone. So let me just tell you, you are not by yourself. I coach women every day who are in the same situation. And I was once in the same situation. But here's the thing. Success without purpose feels empty because you have to understand what purpose really is and what it isn't, right? Purpose isn't just a job or a single passion, right? Like purpose, you don't just get up and be like, oh, my purpose is this career and this job, right? It's alignment. Purpose is alignment. Purpose is impact. Purpose is your meaning in life. I kind of explain it like this. Most of us get really confused about purpose because we think it's this big thing and like we got to answer this big question and it's spooky and it's ooh. And I'm not laughing because I do this all the time, but it's the truth, right? Purpose is just the thing or things that you love to do the most that makes you happy and that makes the world a better place, right? It's your gifting. It's your calling. And if I ask you what your gift was, what your superpower is, what your strength is, you'd be able to tell me that. And I would say, well, that's your purpose in life, to be able to share that gifting, that calling with other people. See, I think that we were all placed on earth to help other people. And when you do that, you're walking in your purpose. And so my gifting, my calling is to help other women succeed. But that's a gift for me. I do it by communication, writing books and stuff like that. And that's another place where we get mixed up at. Most of us think our purpose is rooted in what I call the vehicle. So we have this overarching purpose, how we ultimately give our gifts to the world, right? But how you do that is your vehicle. So my purpose is to help women succeed in life, right? At work and in life. That's just my purpose. It's always been from the moment I started helping my mom in her early ages of the things that were going on with her, to me helping other women. That's always been my purpose. That's my overarching purpose. But how I do that is different. How I do that is through these videos. So if you're watching me right now, go ahead and like and subscribe, boo, because that helps me out and that helps me with my purpose, which is to really share my gift and my knowledge to help you get to a place that you want to get to, right? So I do it through speaking. I do it through, videos. I teach. I write books. I used to be a short-term missionary. All of these are the vehicle. And most of us get mixed up on the vehicle, literally how we do the thing that we're supposed to be doing. You can do the thing that you're supposed to be doing 1,000 different ways, right? But your purpose, your overarching purpose, normally stays within the same bucket. I hope that makes sense to you because I love teaching this. And then, at some point we can get into the nitty gritty of it and I will, but purpose isn't just your job. It is your alignment. It's your impact. It's your meaning, right? Purpose also evolves all the time and that's okay. So here's the difference between chasing success and living in alignment. Success asks, what can I achieve? Who can I be? What am I about to do? Right? That's success. But purpose asks, who am I becoming? And who am I helping? Baby, I'm talking to somebody, right? Purpose is how you create fulfillment when life is hard, right? So instead of asking, what can I do? What can I achieve? Ask yourself, who am I becoming? Who am I helping with this beautiful gift that I have, right? Who am I becoming? So there are a couple of signs, right? There are a couple of signs that success is like you're out of alignment. So you may be successful, but you're out of alignment. Here are a couple of signs. Number one, you constantly need the next goal. If you are a person who constantly needs the next goal, then you're trying to be too successful and you might be out of alignment. If you feel discomfort, exhausted, or even numb, right? You roll up into your job and you just like, things happening around you. You just like, the world burning up. You just like, you know, this might be a sign that you're successful, but you out of alignment, boo. Right? And then one of the other signs is that you lose joy in the things that once excited you. You used to love going out and being around people, going to conferences, talking to people. And now you're just like, I don't want to do none of that. All right. So let's get down to it. Here's how you start reconnecting with your purpose, because I'm all about you really trying to dig in to figure out what your purpose is. And so one of the things I want you to do is I want you to get quiet. Oh my God, get quiet and reflect. Reflect on your values, reflect on your impact, reflect on the things that make you happy. I will always say this. I'm a part of the 5 a.m. club. Woo, 5 a.m. clubbers, put it in the chat. Yay. And I used to not be. I used to be a night owl and subscribe to, burning, the oil at all hours. But when I switched over and became I don't even know if I would call myself a morning person, but I subscribed to the 5 a.m. club because nobody else is awake. Everybody else is sleeping. So there's nobody trying to email me, trying to text me, trying to Facebook me, trying to IG me, none of that. Everybody's asleep. And so it's my time to just get quiet, reflect, pray, read my Bible, journal, all of that. And it's one of the most beautiful things. It's one of the biggest gifts you can give yourself. Now, I ain't saying you got to join the 5 a.m. club. But what I am saying is you do need to carve out time so that you can sit down, reflect, and get quiet with yourself. It's the biggest gift you can give yourself. And then the next thing, in order to reconnect with your purpose, I really want you to pay attention to what energizes you versus what drains you. This is telltale, right? I just had a coaching session with one of my clients and we were talking about some of the things she needed to do in order to enhance her career. And we got into it and really those things were draining her and not energizing her. And so that stuff gives you answers. It leaves clues. And then the last thing I want you to do for right now is I really want you to define success on your own terms. I had to get everybody's thoughts about what success looked like out of my head, and I had to define it for myself. It couldn't be based on my mom and them, my sister and them, my dad and them, my husband. It couldn't be based on anybody but myself, because when you base your definition of success on somebody else, you're always chasing something that is not your own, right? And so those are the things that I want you to do. So here are 2 questions as we close, right? That I want you to ask for yourself, right? These are 2 big questions that I want you to ask as you're really trying to dig in and define your purpose. And if this video helped you, please like and subscribe to my channel. Please share it. I want you to share it with somebody because that is the goal. That is the mission, to affect and to help other women become successful. So here are your 2 questions. Number 1, ask yourself, if no one was watching, okay, y'all, if nobody was watching you, nobody was applauding you, would the life you're building still feel meaningful to you? If nobody was watching you or applauding you, would the life that you're building right now still feel meaningful to you? And then the second question is, what would change if you stopped chasing what looks successful? Come on now. And started choosing what actually felt aligned for you, right? What would change? It might be a whole lot. It might not be a lot. But at the end of the day, these questions are going to help you become a better version of yourself. And it's going to have you chasing purpose and not success. All right now, Dr. Kiki Ramsey here. I hope that these helped. See you in the next one. Peace.